Hey everybody, it's Teacher Crystal. I am doing this video because I wanted to let everybody know about my experience with Magic Year so far. I have been working with them for about 2.5 weeks, but actually only 1 week because I came down with acute bronchitis and I was coughing left and right and I couldn't really talk or do class without coughing. But I will say that my experience so far with them has been phenomenal. The difference between Magic Ears and a lot of, I'm so sorry, my cat, and a lot of the online English second language teaching platforms is that Magic Ears, you don't have to worry about parents sifting through hundreds and thousands of teacher profiles to pick you. The system books you based on your performance. So it truly is a fair way of doing things, in my opinion. She's just relentless today. Prim, say hi. Yeah, she's not having it. But anyways, so they have a ranking system, and that is what you are evaluated on based on your performance. So based on how many peak slots you open, how many slots in general you open, and also how well you do with your pacing, your lighting, your pronunciation, engagement, transitional language, so there's none of that dead silence in between while you're teaching the students. I will not disclose what my pay is, but I will say that it is higher than another platform that I have worked for before. So I'm very happy about that. They've also given me a lot of incentives during this quarantine period in China to work standbys. So you can actually apply for open slots on standby. They usually open up about a day in advance and they'll say, hey, we have a shortage of teachers. These are available to you if you want to apply. And then usually your class is converted into, your standby is converted into an actual class and you're able to access that material, or you literally get paid just to sit at your computer and click I'm here and wait for somebody who needs to learn. The major differences between Magic Years and a lot of the other different ESL programs that I've noticed is Magic Years is very different, and it's in a good way. So if you think teaching one child is adorable, try teaching up to 4. So that's what you can expect from a Magic Years class. You'll be one teacher teaching up to 4 children. And it is a very interactive process. So the children's icons will show up at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll be over here. You'll be dragging them up as needed and practicing and working with them on their pronunciation as prompted by the curriculum. And you will have to look out, and possibly make some adjustments if there are any behavior issues or anything like that, or just noise that can be distracting to the other students. But I will say that in my first week at Magic Years, bookings were absolutely crazy. And again, I've only worked there for 2.5 weeks so far, and I came down with bronchitis and had to cancel a bunch of classes. And then on top of it, just wait until I got better after I took my antibiotic. And they were very, very understanding about that. They made sure that I knew that their priority was for me to feel better and to get rest and to be able to be 100% for the classes. And so I was really, really grateful for that. So they're very forgiving. They have an excellent cancellation policy. You basically have, I think it's 2 emergency and 2 regular cancellations that you can get. And I believe that's per month. Don't quote me on that. But they're very easy to work with. Like I said, there are some pay differences. There's some differences in how you handle the curriculum, being that you are teaching more than one child. There is a lot of passion that is expected with Magic Ears. If you think about their name, Magic Ears, they expect you to provide, as the teacher, the magic to make these children listen and engage, and practice with you, even when there's 3 other students in the room. So it really is something, in my opinion, very special. I have a lot of fun doing it. And because I'm always smiling so much during my classes, it sets me off in a great mood when I teach those morning classes, because long after I've finished, I'm still smiling or still thinking about that adorable thing that somebody did during class. I think my favorite was when I was teaching about a little girl and she was trying to pull a cow on a rope. And one of my students says, "Teacher, that's impossible. She can't pull a cow." But anyways, I digress. But Magic Ears, I definitely recommend 110% if you're tired of dealing with waiting for parent bookings, if you're kind of just waiting by your phone and hoping maybe that you will get a booking with a different platform or something like that. Magic Ears is fantastic. You start off as a sophomore. And then you can request coaching from your personal coach at any point in time if you feel like you need improvements, or they'll let you know if they see anything that needs to be improved to help you rank up. And then, of course, the higher you rank, and once you hit to junior, you'll get more bookings available through the system. And then, of course, I think senior is the following one, more bookings with that. And then if you're a Magic Ears master, I believe that requires one full contract worth of work, maybe 500 classes, maybe more. I don't know. I'd really have to look to get you the detailed information, but the opportunity is there, and the process for applying was so fast, which I'm very grateful for, because from start to finish, I was able to start working and teaching classes within, I think, 1 week of my application. Now, if you work with another online platform such as like VIP Kid or something like that, and you've gotten a TESOL through them, you will need to get a TESOL through an actual institution. And so I did that. I think I went to Groupon and it was like $17. I got one from International Academy. But the classes are still 25 to 28 and a half minutes maximum. You're still expected to correct pronunciation. It is a lot different in terms of what they expect from their teachers than a lot of other platforms. But like I said, again, it's in a good way. The students are having fun, you're having fun, and at the same time, you're able to make that connection with them to help them learn the material. The slides are designed really, really easy to read. Phonic awareness, things like that, blending, are very, very directly outlined within the curriculum, and you usually have access to that within 24 hours of a class. I think the only exception is if you maybe applied for standby position, and then you kind of get, a class last minute that you didn't have time to prepare for. But a lot of the classes are also very much like the same. It's different topics, but the basic structure is kind of the same for most of the different levels. So as you'll go through and you do more classes, you'll notice that each class kind of follows a set way of doing things. There really isn't much of a surprise for teachers when it comes to the layout of the slides if you've been doing it a couple times. I think I've already taught, like 100 classes. It's been a wild ride since all of this has been going on, and China has been on this kind of indefinite extension on their school break. So, but if you have any questions, feel free to apply. My recruiting specialist who helped me through the whole process, she was fantastic. But I'll post my link below, so that way if you need tips or advice or somewhere to start, or just kind of to get to know my experience a little bit better before you apply, or maybe you've already applied and you feel like you maybe need some help with something, I will be happy to help you with that. The hiring process, I'll just talk slightly a little bit about that. And I know I'm kind of all over the place today. I'm trying to get all of this done while my kids are napping. But so the hiring process, how that works is you submit your application, and then I worked with my recruiting specialist, Halu, directly, and she spent time with me to go over the curriculum and show me kind of what the classroom looked like a little bit and what I was expected to do, and then made suggestions for improvement. During this period, you do not have a lot of time. It's only supposed to be, I think, 30 minutes max scheduled for you to go over this with your recruitment specialist that helps you, officially get certified. So you'll want to be prepared for that, and be prepared by watching as many videos on YouTube as you can and learning as much about the company and how it works as you can. And then after that, you'll move on, usually within 24 hours, to teaching a trial class with a real student or more than one real student. And based on that, how you do will determine if you move forward in the process. I will admit I did terrible on my first one, so I reached out to my recruiting specialist and asked her if there would be any way that I could be considered for a second opportunity to retry the trial class. And she said, of course. So thankfully, I was able to take that within another 24 hours. And I think I got a response within 2 to 3 business days or so, maybe, telling me that I had passed and, welcome to the Magic Years team. There is no app for Magic Years at this point. They do use Chrome as the browser, so you have access to your teacher portal where you can make alterations and open your bookings, close your bookings, etc. You can do everything you need right on there from your desktop or from your phone on a Chrome browser. So that's pretty nice. And then there is a specific platform, so you're not teaching from the website, if that makes sense. You're not going to open up Google Chrome and log into the portal and then log into your classroom. That's just for the teachers to use primarily. You will use the platform for your teachings, and then, like I said, your curriculum will be there for you to review 24 hours before your class. So, other than that, feedback is a little bit different. You do an audio recording up to 60 seconds, I believe it is, for each student. So you'll want to remember which seats they were in, 1, 2, 3, or 4, anything that they did really well, anything that they need to work on, and you'll give them that audio feedback. It's really a personalized touch, and it's one last way for me to kind of say thank you to my students, because gosh, it's amazing how much they are learning at such a young age and how great they do with it. But like I said, I'm posting my link below, and that will have my referral link in it should you choose to use me to help you throughout the process. I am available for video chats, as well as phone chats, Facebook Messenger, Skype, Zoom, whatever it is you want to do to help you kind of through this process. And believe me, I've made a lot of mistakes so far in the first, few days or so of teaching. So I've gotten my corrections on it, and I kind of have a very good grasp, I think, now at this point on what they're looking for in terms of not just your lighting. Mind you, my lighting is terrible right now. But in terms of lighting and pronunciation and really showing that passion, number one is teach with passion. Always have a smile on your face. Always. And never say, if a child mispronounces something, don't say, great job. Say it again. Don't do that. Okay, good try. Let's try again. Or, good, we'll try again later and keep working on it. Something along those lines, because we never want to misinform or make the child believe that they're doing something correctly, and then they learn it that way, and we have to correct it later on when it's not. So the best way to do that is just to kind of stop it right in its tracks and say, okay, let's practice more. Not a lot of other platforms will want you to give consistent praise, and with Magic Years, you do want to give praise, and you always want to be happy, and you always want to be positive when you're correcting a child, so that way they can learn. But you also don't want, like I said, to mislead them into believing that they're pronouncing a word correctly. You want to kind of nip it in the bud as soon as you can. But anyways, so that's all I have for today. And here comes my cat again. I guess she wants to say goodbye. So goodbye from Pran. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Hope to teach with you soon.